Hello, today's lesson is fast scales. Now, playing fast and playing slow actually require two separate sets of techniques. So when we play slow, and let me play your C scale for you in your right hand. Now I'm using each one of my fingers to press down the keys. That takes strength not in the pushing of the fingers, but in the holding back of the other fingers. That's where that strength comes from. So if I really wanted to get a good touch, I want to drop the weight of my arm onto the keys as well as activate each finger. So I'm kind of doing a bouncing motion like this. And it should look very fluid. However, when I'm playing fast, I don't have time to make that fast motion. We have to think in groups. So here we go. Watch as I play the C scale. And let me pull my keyboard up. There we go. Okay, so now, as I play the C scale, we don't have 8 fingers, and we got to get from 1 to 8, or 1 to 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then it repeats. 1, C to C. All right? I don't have 7 fingers, I don't have 8 fingers. So what we do is we utilize this thumb under technique. Thumb, and then boom, it sets our hand position. And then we do the exact opposite on the way back, boom, over the thumb, and back to our first hand position. So what we're looking at is 2 hand positions. This hand position here, and this hand position here. But at this tempo, watch what happens. Move, move. Okay, at this tempo, I can do that. I mean, I have time as I'm hitting the F, I can shift that hand during the beat that I have the F on. But I can't do that when I'm going, okay? So instead of a thumb, we're gonna do a shift, and we just gotta get really good at landing our thumb on F and having that 5-finger position ready to go. So we practice it by playing the grouping here, playing the grouping here. And we go back and forth. That's called infinite speed. That is the fastest I can play 3 notes at the same time. At the same time. That's the quickest you can play anything, right? So now what we do is we start slowing down. That's pretty fast, right? The idea is that as we slow down, we're rolling our hand in that grouping. So now it's more like this. I'm opening a door, okay? And we're utilizing the fingers by putting them slightly lower than the other ones that aren't gonna play. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And if I put my hand like this, you'll see it's more like that. It's not as dramatic, but I'm just showing you. Then when we get to the 5 fingers position, they're all equal. So when I roll, and that's the idea. As we slow down, we gotta bring in the finger dexterity just a little bit, just enough to articulate each note. And when you do this for the first time, this technique, the keys are going to sound soft. They just are. You're not going to have this. I got a lot of strength in my hands, and I can really pound these synthesizer keys. But if you're on a synthesizer, you're going to have a problem getting a lot of sound. Don't worry about it. Just work on the technique. And as you get finger dexterity, you'll be able to kind of activate the finger dexterity to get a little more power, and that will come from repetition. All right? So here's the way I'm going to do these exercises. The way this works is I'm going to show the groupings, and not every scale has only 2 groupings. But we're going to run the groupings, so in each video you're going to have to spend time watching me do it first, and then you'll have to rewind it to practice what the groupings are. See, that's the C scale, but let's say we get into an A flat scale. A flat scale starts on a 3, and we get to the thumb by the 3rd note, okay? And then the 4th comes over, so this is our next one, and then we're not quite done yet. We've got another grouping there. So it looks like this, and like this, and like this. So we have, and that's how we'll practice the scale, okay? So it'll be groups. Then what we're going to do is we're going to use the bookends, the beginning and the end note, as our markers. So it's going to go click, 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 click. And what I want you to do is just throw your hand down and throw your hand up. We're not going for perfect right now. We're just going for the motion of blah, 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 yeah. And in anything in between, just make sure that you hit your bookends. Ba-da-da, 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 ba-da-da. It's that simple. So it's your C scale. Ba-da, ba-da, ba-da. Then what we'll do is we'll play it in time of the tempo of the piece. Sorry. Actually, we'll do this. So we will not repeat at the top here. Okay? So that's the idea. That's how these things are going to work. I will see you at the C and F scale.